Hey everyone, Leroy here with the first employee spotlight of 2024. We're going to change things up a little bit with some of these spotlights in terms of asking some of the people that do great things for us to really get into a little more detail in terms of what they actually do in the day of their life here at Koppers. So I have sitting next to me Brian Stein here in Pittsburgh. I'm going to start off by just asking Brian to introduce himself.
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Brian Stein. I am a business analyst in our IT group here in Pittsburgh. I've been with Koppers exactly 3 years as of yesterday.
That's awesome. I would have brought you an anniversary present if I would have known. But
Thank you. Appreciate that. I have been kind of leading our digital transformation efforts over the past 18 months or so. I know we're going to get into that in a little more detail.
We are actually, because that is the reason you're here. Not just because it's your anniversary, but you lead digital transformation here, and that's something that's been out there, in the news a lot. Folks at Koppers probably wonder, what does that really mean? What do you do, Brian, and how can that maybe apply to me?
So essentially, we have this concept of doing more with less. And we kind of see digital transformation and the work that we're doing there as a way to enable folks to do more with less.
Okay, yep.
And we kind of have two aspects of that, really, part 1A and part 1B. And the first is taking a look at some inefficient or even paper processes, yep. And building an app or building some type of solution where we can make those processes much more efficient. And the second aspect of that is building out our Koppers Common Data Platform, mm-hmm. Which really kind of helps us break down a lot of walls that exist in traditional, IT ecosystems in terms
because we use all kinds of different systems throughout the organization, right?
Yep.
So that creates some of the complexity of being able to do some of the stuff that you do, right? Is because it's coming from all these different systems. Okay?
Yeah.
So the Common Data Platform enables you to sort of marry that and put stuff that's in disparate systems in an application that someone doesn't have to go to all these different places to actually be able to access in a way that can help them. Is that
yeah,
a way to describe it, maybe?
Yeah, and then just in terms of using that data to then create actionable insights in a way that we have not done before, and even in an automated way.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we're doing now, and then as we look to the future, it's machine learning, AI, okay. And kind of taking that to the next level.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So we're going to jump into a couple examples. Okay, so let's start with an app that's near and dear to my heart. It's the daily billing dashboard. It's something that I could see sort of as the months or as the days go on in each month. Where do we stand from an overall sales standpoint? Because of the systems that you talked about, right, and information coming from all different places, that was very, very difficult to do.
Yeah. We took billing data from Business Central and Navision instances across the globe, and we consolidate all of those into the Koppers Common Data Platform. And then we use Power BI to grab all of that data and represent it with some calculations and different ways that we can kind of slice and dice the data to see some real insight to it, where it's not you pulling data into an Excel spreadsheet and doing things manually. This is all automated,
right?
Which takes a lot of the legwork out of it.
Yeah. So all the issues I talked about in terms of the tremendous amount of work to pull all this stuff together has been eliminated as a result of this.
Exactly. So what we're looking at here, for sake of example, I will pick a business unit, yep. Just so we can see how this all kind of dynamically updates.
Right.
So you can very quickly kind of see that insight into a particular business unit, or if it's a particular time frame you're looking at. If I want to say, let's look as a whole, how did we do for July, August, and September? Yep. You can kind of see all of those insights, and you see it's just a couple of clicks and it's there.
Yeah, and that's what I've loved about it. And thank you, Brian. It's been a fantastic development of, again, something that I've been hoping to have for a long, long time. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to jump into the second app, which is the railcar safety app, right? Is it
railcar unloading app? This idea, it kind of stemmed from Tracy Romy coming to us and saying, I'd like to get my emails notifying me that a creosote railcar at an RPS plant is empty, automated.
Yeah.
Because those were just treating supervisors that would have to remember to email Tracy every time a car was unloaded.
Yeah.
So the more we kind of dug into that process, and Josh Mock and Ray Ray Cook helped with that as well. What is that overall process, and how can we kind of digitize a bigger part of that? So that's where we kind of landed with this railcar unloading app that kind of digitizes the whole process of receiving in the rail car, going through all of the inspections, and automating a lot of different parts to that. But essentially, all of the data that we capture in here was on a paper form.
Okay.
And as we kind of go through every bit of this form and it's filled out, different actions can be taken.
So vast improvement in the process.
Right.
What's the feedback you got on this?
The feedback on this is, wow, this saves me a lot of time. But that's the goal.
Yeah, that is the goal, right? That's what we're trying to achieve here, and this is why we're also having this conversation, to try and help people out there think of other things that they do in their daily lives here at Koppers that can benefit from a digital transformation project.
Yep. And one other thing to add is, now that we're capturing all of this data, there's almost near real-time insight into this data, which we just didn't have before because it was paper.
All right, Brian, I've made you work hard on this first employee spotlight of the year, so now we're going to have a little bit of fun, okay? I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions, a fast 5, all right? Rapid fire. Imagine you're a professional baseball player. What's your walk-up song?
Oh, boy, I don't know. Probably something Spanish. I don't know why.
Something Spanish, okay. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Buffalo chicken.
Okay. Imagine you could teleport anywhere. Where would you go right now?
Hawaii.
I'm with you. What piece of advice would you share with your younger self? You're young guys, it is. Your teenage self.
Always be honest. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Okay. Good advice for anybody. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
In Hawaii, we did a doors-off helicopter ride.
Wow.
So I was hanging out the door of a helicopter.
Yeah, and okay, that'd be a harrowing experience. I'm glad you made it back safe.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, so thanks, Brian. I really appreciate you taking the time, and for all of you out there viewing, again, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you again next time on either one of my 412s or the next Employee Spotlight. Thanks, everyone.